This is a late video. Sorry I'm uploading this late, but I wanted to jump into this. So I'm not the guy. You guys know I'm not the guy that vouches for Adam Aaron. I'm also not the same one that's 199% against the guy. I think based on the data and the facts we have, it's good to be skeptical, and it's hard to lean one way or the other. But something just dropped, and I'm going to say this could be in Adam Aaron's favor as to why Ape was issued, what was just filed, and what a short seller just sent to the court. So without further ado, guys, if you enjoy the video or find value out of the video, and if you're watching this late, make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, get us to 14,000 subscribers. Let's get into the video. Okay, so in this 928-page document, there is a little segment that we are going to pull out. Privileged redacted, stating that index funds being forced to sell will prevent them from lending out and rehypothecating shares, taking a major method of attack away. Now let's really dig into this and figure out if that's what's happening. Discussion ensued about the mechanics, yada yada yada, whether short sellers would need to cover their positions. Mr. Aaron indicated that they would have to obtain apes and return them to the lender or cover their short position. So Adam Aaron stated short sellers would have to obtain ape, return them to the lender to cover their short position, or cover their short position. He explained that index funds who own a lot of our common stock, so AMC, will not be able to own the preferred equity units, so their dispositions may balance the short sellers' needs. So short sellers would have to obtain apes and return them to the lender or cover their short position. He also states that index funds who own a lot of AMC, he specifies a lot of our common stock, will not be able to own preferred equity units, so their dispositions may balance the short sellers. So, in other words, what I'm reading here is index funds who own a lot of AMC specifically cannot own one single APE unit. And the reason for that is because when APE is converted, shorts have to have enough shares to cover, okay? This is why it would make sense. This is the only reason it would make sense. He's stating that shorts need to lend or cover shares when the conversion goes through. So index funds who own a lot of AMC cannot own APE because shorts won't have real shares to cover on. This is the first idea of what I got, which is what this guy tweeted on Twitter. He goes, it says that index funds would be forced to sell and shorts could draw from that supply, which is kind of what I thought this said in the first place. Now, this is another interpretation that states index funds being forced to sell will prevent them from lending them out and rehypothecating shares. So this guy took it as index funds are being forced to sell APE, which will prevent them from lending them out and actually shorting more shares and rehypothecating shares. But would that really make sense? Because we know they can rehypothecate in other ways. I want to know how you guys would interpret this in the comments. Everything on top of Project Popcorn and now this, I want to hear your sentiment on this. And it could be the more so bullish part as to Adam Aaron wanted shorts to cover on APE. This was supposed to be the quote-unquote checkmate. And the reason for that is because we are going to talk about why shorts really don't want the conversion and reverse split to go through for some reason. Okay, there's a lot of reasons why I think that they would, but for some reason, they just don't. Now, in the rest of this, it says that should companies subsequently pursue at-the-money offerings, that those offerings would be dilutive. Mr. Aaron indicated that many retail shareholders were begging for a dividend to validate a proper share count, that the dividend does not change their economic holdings at all. It is equivalent of a stock split, and that the dividend was vital to shore up companies' liquidity. So, Adam Aaron states here that retail was begging for a dividend to validate a share count, in which he stated Ape will go through computer share and you will get your share count. And what the fuck happened? Ape went through computer share, 43 million fails to deliver day one. Adam Aaron said, whoa, you guys are probably right. I just contacted the NYSE and they said nothing was wrong with it. And then they disappeared. So what I'm seeing here is Adam Aaron said, okay, I did what shareholders wanted. They were right. I threw them a bone. But in the long run, I'm just trying to raise capital for the company to shore up the company's liquidity. This is exactly what it's saying. And the NYSE, in the meantime, is saying, all right, just fucking tell them that you know, it's perfectly fine. We'll just wipe away the numbers that's being reported. Now, the last thing in this is that, let's see, discussion ensued about removing references to short sellers and companies' announcement materials, which Adam Aron stated he had already been done. Mr. Aron explained that GameStop did a stock split 2 weeks ago and that their short sellers were immediately active on social media in response. Upon a motion duly made and seconded, the board approved the resolutions attached hereto as Exhibit A. Mr. Chivers left the call. So Adam Aron's saying, listen, GameStop did a stock split 2 weeks ago, and the short sellers were abruptly responding on social media, which he makes a fair point here. They wouldn't be freaking out on social media, let alone stating anything at all. Interpret this as you will, and let me know in the comments. I'm going to try to answer as many comments. Index funds will retain ownership in AMC common stock, but will not be able to continue to hold the apes. So that first part was right. They will have to sell the apes, or they will have to not own them, so on and so forth. But of course, if you own ape and you were issued if you own AMC and you were issued ape, you'd have to sell them. And the index funds that own AMC and receive a dividend will need to sell the ape. Okay, so that just confirmed it right there. Short sellers in AMC stock may cover their short position prior to the ex-dividend date if they want to. Short sellers that retain short AMC, so stay short, will need to deliver the ape dividend to the lender, and as a result will have two options. Okay, so short sellers will have to deliver the ape dividend to the lender. Okay, so they'd have to cover on ape. Their two options are the borrowed apes, right? They borrow apes, continue to be short ape, and then deliver the stock to the lender, or they buy apes in the open market to deliver stock to the lender. So, in other words, the loophole around this is Adam Aron stating, okay, they can double down on apes and deliver the stock to the lender so that the lender is all set and that these index funds don't own ape, or they can buy the apes in the open market to deliver the stock to the lender. Okay, so there's two options, and shorts clearly took option number one, even though there's 5% short interest on ape. I know, it makes no sense to me. Moving on from this, a short hedge fund manager, Andrew Hahn, just wrote the corp. One of his biggest holdings is Pershing Square. That's Bill Ackman's fund. Interesting that Bill had a huge bet on streaming services. You can see right here, hedge fund titan Bill Ackman sells all Netflix stock as billion-dollar bet flops. Bill Ackman, founder and CEO of Pershing Square Capital Management, a blank check company. Hahn owns over 1.5 million shares of Pershing Square, so all validated here. So a fund openly short AMC finally wrote a letter to the court in opposition of the conversion and reverse split. So a short seller, like we were talking about earlier, wrote the court a letter, and they are opposing the conversion and reverse split. If it was good for one short seller, it's good for all. If it's bad for one short seller, it is bad for all. Mark my words, this is the way I see it, right? Why would one single investor invest in a company and hope it goes down? They wouldn't. There's no reason you would invest your money and hope to lose it. There's none. There's not reason at all. This is what they stated. What did the vote actually look like? Not good. Don't be fooled by Adam Aron's enthusiasm. Only 25% of AMC common shares voted yes. When a non-vote counts the same as a no vote, and I want to vote no, why would I want even 5 minutes of my day to vote no? I just continue living my life, and that's the same as a no vote. Their argument throughout this piece states that Adam Aron rigged the vote, which I'm not going to state anything for legality reasons, but just kidding, I don't really give a fuck. He kind of did rig the vote. The short goes, this is what AMC shareholders did here. They did nothing because they didn't want the Delaware Court Charter Amendment equivalent of a 1987 Honda Civic. They state that the results are clear, Judge. Only 25% voted yes. Adam Aron is like a magician who gets you to focus on exactly what he wants you to focus on, praying you won't look behind the curtain. LOL, at numbers being mentioned on his Twitter feed, and it was a landslide vote to 88% yes for Proposal 1. Now, this is exactly true. He did tweet this. It is sometimes a little bit sus, right? But what to note here, what to pull out of this is whatever he says, if a short seller is telling you, listen, retail, look at the vote was rigged, right? Adam Aron doesn't want you to look behind the curtain. What he stated is basically just mocking you. This just puts us in a weird situation, because why would the short sellers want to oppose this if it was so bad for shareholders? It just does not make sense. I am completely at a loss here. I'm not gonna lie. What I posted earlier, the video I posted earlier, shows a bunch of catalysts lining up for the end of June. GameStop also closed up about 10% on the day, which makes me very excited bringing the drawings in. You know what we have been tracking with GameStop. This makes me extremely excited. Honestly, I can't wait to upload a video tomorrow. But this is a late video, and I'm sorry it's late, but I just wanted to point these things out, and I want to know your guys' take in the comments down below. And the letters sent to the court don't require proof of ownership, but letters sent to the email address used for support and opposition letters do. So this fund may or may not own AMC, but this might change everything as they are short through puts. But it is major, 11.38 million shares. Overall, guys, this is what I got for you for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed watching, well, tonight's video. Hopefully you enjoyed watching or found value out of the video. Enjoy the rest of your night. I love you all. Lottery Socks out. Make sure to share this, guys, on your way out. Peace.